Okay, this is my first try using Gravit Designer. We're going to see how this thing works. Select screen size, and I'm going to go with 1920 by 1280. If you're on a Chromebook, you might want to go a little smaller. Depends on how it works. I guess you'll have to experiment, but let's go with this size for me. And I want to go to the internet, and I'm going to do a search. I don't know if you can actually see this. Yeah, I don't know if you can see this part of the presentation, but I'm going to do a search for card suits because I want to find, you'll see what I'm looking for in a second. I want to get this basically hearts and clubs and that sort of image. So copy image, and hopefully I can just paste directly. Yes. Okay, so that's what I was looking for. Do a search for that. And let me make this a bit larger, full screen or whatever. Okay, so there. And I'll zoom. I don't know if this will work. Yeah, all right. So that's an external image that I just brought in, and I want to make the layer that it's on sort of transparent. I'm going to go over here and click image. Yeah. So you click the layer it's on, and oops, I guess I clicked it again and it went away. What you want to do is adjust the opacity to, I don't know, like 50% ish. All right. Then I'm going to click new layer. And what we're going to do is we're going to use the pen tool, which can be very frustrating if you don't understand how it works. This activity hopefully will give you a chance to see how it works. I'm going to hit Z and zoom in so that I'm really up close to that. Now let's click on the pen tool again. And what you want to do is click once right here on this point. If you click and drag, you get a different effect. So it's really important that you just click once and then go out here somewhere. You want, when you're doing this, you want the fewer the points, the better. Only make as many points as is necessary. Now I'm going to click and I'm going to drag, and you'll see these little handles, and you can see what the handles are doing. If you make them really short, then you get like a radical curve near the dot. If you make them really long, then it basically stretches out the length of the curve. And then obviously as I make it longer now, the curve is more radical at the other end. So what I want is just a little bit of a curve here. And notice that I've got the handle on the other end. The one that I'm not hanging on to is about halfway in between. And it looks like a nice curve. So I'm going to let go, and then I'm going to place another one somewhere down here. And it turns out the only way for you to really get good at this is just to kind of experiment. Like if I put the dot right here, you can kind of see how the curve is outside the line. And so what you'll learn is you always want to kind of put it inside where it's passing inside, and then pull until it matches that curve. And it just takes a little bit of finessing, a little bit of patience. So I'm going to let go right there. And then I'm going to go, I think I might be able to make it all the way to here. And I'm going to pull and try to make it match that curve. Yes. Okay, now at this point, as I kind of try to curve around here, you'll see that this thing's getting all wonky. That's a very technical term, by the way. The way to solve this problem is to click on that midpoint, that point that it just got placed. Click on that, and it'll sort of break that, that tendency or whatever it was doing there. So now we want to click down here and pull until we get the curve to match that. And then once again, we've got a problem with it dangling out here like a spaghetti. So if we click that, it'll restart it or whatever. I'm not sure what the term is for that, but it's like you break it. But anyways, notice how it's trying to guide me when I'm directly below that point up there. It's trying to let me know, and that's a good place to put it. And I clicked once. I didn't click and drag, so it basically broke that anchor too. And now I can just go straight up, and it closes the entire shape and obviously fills it in. And what we'll do is use this tool to make sure it's selected. Oh, accidentally selected the image that's underneath it. I forgot to lock that layer. And now we'll click back on the path layer. Yeah, this path. I think I'm going to double click and call it shapes. I'll tell it enable autosave. You can do the same. So this is shapes. I actually wanted that to be plural. Okay, there. Now, I've got this shape selected. I'm going to hit Control C to copy it. Control Shift V will paste it in exactly the same position it was in when you copied it. Then I'm going to flip horizontal and drag this over until it sort of snaps in place right there. Okay. Now I'll select both of them and hit this Pathfinder, create compound shape, whatever it's called. And there you go. So now I probably could change the color somewhere. I'm not sure if I know how to do that yet. Somewhere there's got to be a color change. Fills. Yeah, maybe this is it. So I want to pick black for the fill. There we go. All right. So hold spacebar, shift it over, and let's take care of this one. We'll start right here. And I think what's important to know is that whatever you do, if you mess up, there's a way to fix it. And you really just kind of have to experiment and get a handle on how this tool works. This is the pen tool. And this exercise will hopefully get you pretty well grounded on how it works. So once again, I'm going to click, and I'm not going to drag yet. I just clicked once. Now I'm going to go up here, and I'm going to click down, but I'm not going to let go. I'm going to pull. Before I let go, I'm going to pull. If you let go, it might do something you don't want it to do. So now I'm going to let go and bring it around to, let's try about here. And I'm going to click, and I'm not going to let go this time. I'm going to pull before I let go. And then I'm going to go down to here, and notice how the curve kind of switches back the other direction. I want to sort of put a point somewhere in the middle of those two. Like the inflection point is what they call it in math class. Inflection point. All right, so there's, is that going to work? Let's see. That's pretty close. I'm going to let go, and then I'll go down to the end, and oh, it's trying to tell me I'm directly above that. I'm going to click and pull such that that curve hopefully kind of matches. Okay. Then it's trying to do this crazy spaghetti move. I'm going to click it so it breaks it, and then I'm going to go straight up, click, and it fills it. I see a little problem right here. Not a huge deal, but I think I'll try to fix it here before I reflect it. So I'm going to grab this sub-selection tool, and this would be a good opportunity to show you some things. If you click on this point and then pull, you can move it around. Another way to make sure that you grab it is to just go like this. Notice you kind of have to know where they are. So if you kind of click on it, it'll show you where all the inflection points are, all the adjustable points. And so anyways, I'm going to grab this, and you can also arrow key. Try arrow keying just to see what it does. So I want to position it about like that. And maybe this is too long. I'm going to bring this back. I'm going to keep the angle the same, or angle it a little bit less. Yeah, I'm not sure. I just want to, there's something wrong with the way this is curving here, and I just want to try to resolve it. So maybe this needs to go a little bit more like that. Yeah, actually that looks a little better. Maybe. Might actually want to arrow key down one for that. So anyways, let's call it good for now. And I'll go back to the regular selection tool, select this. I'm going to hit Control C. Actually, check this out. This doesn't come down quite as far as it should. So I'm going to switch to that sub-selection tool. I actually just hit D on the keyboard. You can hit V or D, and then I will arrow key down. Yeah, that also helps a little bit with that curve. So back to the V tool, the selection tool. I'm going to select that, go Control C, Control Shift V, And then I'm going to mirror it and move it over here, and hopefully it'll help guide me into place. There we go. I'm going to select both of them just by making sure that my bounding box touches both sides. Then I'm going to hit join and click over here to turn it red. Boom. Okay. Looks like there's still a little bit of a weirdness over here. Yeah, save to cloud, whatever. Let's see, I'll call it cards. Card suits. Okay. Hurry up. Okay, so once again, was this not joined together? I do want these to be joined. Union. I don't know why there's still a line in between. Do I need to break them apart and then try again? Control Z, Control Z. No. Yeah, I'm not sure why this is not allowing me to join them together, or yeah, they really are one item, but it's frustrating. I wonder if I can delete this. No, I don't want to do that. Or if I select that point and that point. I held shift when I did that. I doubt it'll let me do that. Yeah, that messes it up. Huh. Okay, well, maybe you can figure it out. But anyways, move on to this shape and just have fun learning how to use the pen tool. And at some point, you might bog down and start experimenting. Like I was kind of doing that with selecting these points here and seeing what happened if I did things with them. Actually, that looks better, I think, what I just did right there. And that's worth doing, you know. You don't want to spend the rest of your life messing with it, but I think there's some value in at least taking a little bit of time to experiment and see if you can get better results. Like, I think I like that a little smoother. That's a little better. Use the V tool. Try it once again. Nope. Denied. Yeah. All right. So that's how I want you to do this one. I want you to do all 4 suits. And notice the diamond has a tiny bit of a curvature to it. And yeah, enjoy working with this one, and it'll give you some good skills with the pen tool. All right. Like and subscribe, please. How do I get out of this?